guys, welcome to my video. Today I just wanted to show you guys a little bit about me and what's on my channel and how I got into baby dolls. So when I was little, these were my dogs. This was Ted and this is Socket. And Ted had an accident and passed away, which is really sad, but then we got Socket. So my dogs were very loved. I always wanted a baby brother or sister and I didn't have one, so my dogs definitely filled that place. I mean, most people did this, but I did it all the time, the poor dogs. This is poor Socket. He, just want to note that these photos, he would literally be like strapped in, I would take a photo and then I would let him out. I wouldn't like leave him in there, like I wouldn't do that. I would leave him in the pram like this, but yeah. So I had this pram first, this was for Socket, and then I got this one, it was also for Socket, but it had a reversible handle, which I loved. But it was actually the pram that I made my first pram liner to suit, which is crazy. And then I was so lucky that my auntie was working at a baby store and it actually fully closed down, and I got this boutique pram that was brand new, and I was so excited. It came with a bassinet and everything. I always just had babies, like I had, this is like my 10th birthday cake, I believe. I counted 10 candles. This is my miracle baby, and I want to shoot a quick video of what she looks like now. I still have her. So here is the miracle doll that I just wanted to show you. She isn't in like perfect shape, but she's not like, I never cut her hair, I never did anything like that. Her eyelashes are missing, but that's just like from wear and tear, and she is a little dirty, again, just from like playing with her. She is actually a silicone, but it's like squishy inside, and she's all 3/4, so the silicone stops there, and on her legs it stops here as well. And just like I always had babies with me, and it just like this photo is here because that's my leg with my baby in my hand at my mum's birthday. So when I was younger, my neighbor brought home this exact Real Care baby, and I was so excited. She told me that it cried and you had to feed it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I need this. And then not long after, my brother's girlfriend actually brought the exact same baby home, which was so cool, and she let me even look after it for an hour or two, and I was so excited to do that. And then I had to wait from however old I was in primary school till year 9 in school to get my hands on one of these dolls, and I honestly just, for those whole years, I just went on YouTube and watched all the videos. I swear at one point I watched all of them and I just couldn't watch anymore. So before we could take the Real Care babies home, we had to look after these little eggs, and that was so fun. We had to make the cradles, we had to decorate them. That's actually my hair. I cut a little bit off. And then we got to take the babies home, and I took one with a friend, which was so fun. Part of our year 10 assignment was to redecorate. This was what we called the nursery. It was broken into 4 play areas. One was for the babies, and of course I like put my hand up for that. Everyone was kind of probably a little scared of me in my nursery. I cleaned it, I looked after it like pristine. So it got moved around a bunch of times, but it was always very clean. We painted all of it, we got like new bedding, well not brand new, but secondhand. We got everything secondhand for this place. I even bought like clothes and prams, and it was so fun. Then I decided that we needed new babies. We had 2 of the older generation plus a drug affected baby for class. And I really wanted the new ones to take home, which were the Real Care 3s. So at the time, the 3s were out, and my friend and I, we went and basically did a little speech in front of this group that fundraises money and decides who to give it to, why we should get the money. And so we did that, and they gave us the money for 3 simulators plus this shaken baby, which was so amazing because I shook that baby, and oh my gosh, you have to shake it so hard to actually get all of the information in the head. Like you can see how it works over here. So of course I have lots and lots of photos because I just loved these dolls. Any opportunity I would get to play with them, I would be in the nursery, or this is just like in class, I would have the babies on and me doing work next to them while they're on. I even took home twins for holidays, which is crazy. I was kind of allowed to do whatever I wanted with these dolls, which is pretty cool because my teacher trusted me and she knew I would look after them, plus she knew I knew a lot about them. Basically, I taught her how to use them when we got them. I was even allowed to unbox them, which is super cool. I was even allowed to unbox them. That's what this photo was here. The office called me, told me that they'd arrived, and I was allowed to take them, unbox them, charge them, and set them up for the first time all by myself without a teacher. And that's like a few $1,000s worth of dolls, so that's how close the teacher and I were. Like I said, the baby went literally everywhere with me. This was at the zoo. There's a video of that. She was broken and wouldn't work properly. There's a video of this one. We took him out for the weekend with us everywhere. And this was just in class mucking around. So throughout all of this, I was making pram liners, and when I left, this is actually my first pram liner here, and when I left school, I left the school with all of these pram liners, and I helped, like, I found this pram on the side of the road, I bought this, I found this on the side of the road and made the cover for it, and I think I donated one of these car seats from a secondhand shop. The first reborn I ever met was actually at my auntie's house. So my auntie collects them, but I had no clue because I was so young. And I went up and I saw all of her babies, and I picked up this little girl here, and I loved her and I thought she was so sweet. And then the next year I went back and I picked up this one, which I only just realized now is actually the same baby. So I must really like this baby. I honestly find her so adorable. And she's open eye, which is crazy because I'm not a fan of them, but I love her. The first lifelike doll I got was a Behringer. She was bought home from my mom from an op shop. I remember she was wearing this little red top and it had matching red pants, and her hair was a mess and she just wasn't in good shape at all. So I brushed her hair up, I got her some little outfits because I already had some in like a box. I already had some baby clothes. And I got her all ready, which was so cool, and I just like loved her. Not long after, a friend of mine gave me this baby here, which is so kind of her. She reborned her all by herself, and we did a box swap, and it was so kind. I opened the box, I'm like, wow, this is a big box, and there was a whole reborn baby in it, which was so kind of her. So I decided to sell this little girl here, the first one, the Behringer, and then move on. I kind of didn't play with reborns for a lot after that. I just had a lot of other stuff going on, but then something kind of popped up and I decided to go back to real care babies. However, I was out of school by now and I didn't have access to them just if I wanted them, so I had to buy my own. And this little girl here is actually the first one that I bought off my friend, and then not long later this one came up for sale as well off my same friend. So she was honestly lovely, and I still have this little boy today. He is like one of my favorites. Well, both of the two that I have are my favorites. But after this I decided to start bulk buying babies and fixing them and making them easier for everyone to access, because they were so hard to get and you could never get them with the right pieces, and so many people were just confused by them. So with my knowledge, I really just wanted to help people be able to get a simulated baby. These are the two I decided to keep. Oh, I love them so much. This is the Hispanic female and the Caucasian male. Okay, so not long after this, I took my Caucasian male to a meetup. And it was like a reborn meetup but it was reborn artists that were all meeting together. And I took my real cat and I put him on and he was like crying. I do have a video of that. And I met Alora there. It was just her head, But I met her and I asked the artist, oh, like, is this baby for sale? And she was like, yeah. So I waited till she was finished and I had a look, and then I ended up buying her. A few months later, I decided I needed a little boy to go with my little girl, and that was Arlo. So Arlo came home. So I had these two for a little while, and they were like my twins, my newborn twins, boy and girl. You know, everyone wants them. And then I decided I needed a big baby. So the big baby is the Joseph kit. I received my Joseph kit and I wanted her as a girl, but I really just wasn't a fan of her paintwork. So she got sold straight away, just about. And then I bought my Liberty, and my Liberty is so cute. She's my big baby that wears my big clothes, and she's still in my collection. I somehow ended up getting Onyx. Onyx is my 0 to 3 months baby, and I was just speaking to my artist and she's like, oh yeah, I've just been doing this, and I'm like, oh, how cute. Oh, let me know when you finish him. So she did, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's so cute, can I come and get him? So that's how I ended up with Onyx. Totally unplanned, like it was literally within days, and I went and picked him up. And then I got him home and I decided that Arlo and Onyx were too similar, so I decided to sell Arlo onto a new mummy. And then I welcomed home Phoenix, my first partial silicone by Claire Taylor. I had Phoenix for about a year, but he was a little bit too much of a risk for me to have just because he was silicone and I didn't want him to break, so I sold him. And then I moved on to Nixon, which is the current baby that I have now. He's my newborn boy. He is very cute. Prams! As you guys, if you know me, I love prams so much. Honestly, I just love them. I like to buy them and fix them. If they're broken, I love to do them up. I love to make pram liners for them and make them pretty. I love taking them out. It's just so much fun. Like, I just love prams. It's weird, but I love it. I also make pram liners, so I thought I would show you some of them. And like, this is my bat pram that I made for Halloween, which I thought was super cool. This is Tyler. He's sometimes on my channel. He's a little boy that I look after sometimes. I actually bought the buff for him because he was in the cam and I decided that he was running out of room. So I was like, oh, I'll get the buff. But I guess it was a few months later and it still didn't help much. So if you see like my whole reasoning from before towards why I had the Real Care babies, that's kind of why I made the app, the BabySitMe app. It was to make the baby simulator more accessible. A lot of people didn't like the plastickiness of the Real Care babies and they really liked the cuddliness of the reborns. So I was like, how can I put both together? I did try and make like a Real Care reborn, but they are just so hard to maintain that it just wasn't, you just couldn't sell them and make them a real thing. And plus you had to get all the parts for the Real Care again, and that's like kind of hard and expensive and time consuming, so I decided against that. One of my favorite things to do is reborn meetups. Like, I love going and meeting all these new friends and pushing out prams and testing the prams out. We get to take our babies out and it's just so fun. So that's a really big part of my channel. I know that most people do watch my channel for the reborn meets, which is awesome. And I really appreciate you watching my videos and I really appreciate your lovely comments. So that's about me. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to post below and comment below. If you want me to do like a story of various things that you've seen on here, because I've just touched on everything, then also let me know and I'll be able to fill you in on that, or I'll be able to make a whole video on, you know, about that topic kind of thing. But basically, I have always loved babies and prams, and it's just really continued on. My family doesn't really mind. I mean, they don't want to come out in the street with me and push babies around in prams or anything like that, but they don't really care if I go off and do my own thing. I hope you all enjoyed learning a little bit about me, and I hope that you will all comment below and maybe I can learn something about you.